You need connectors. Connectors. So the first one was collaborators, coaches, connectors. These are people who reach into other areas that you don't have access to. So connectors are things like maybe joining a mastermind. So Sean and I met at, in Brendan Burchard's world. You join Brendan Burchard's world because you go to these big conferences, you meet people. And, Sean and I are kind of similar. Both of us are not the biggest networkers on the planet. I don't go out and go like, hey, everybody, let's go. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just not that guy. But you just can't avoid meeting great people at some of these kind of events. And that's the way you go, is you connect with these people. And they may have access to areas that you have no access to. So let me give you an example of that. So I was in the mastermind, Brendan Burchard's mastermind, and I met a guy, Alex Johnston. And Alex Johnston is all about philanthropy. And, so I'm not, I do philanthropy, but I'm not, he finds billionaires to put money in the pocket so that they can do social impact movement stuff, which I'm not into that world. But then after we joined the mastermind, he said, I want to have a mini mastermind of like 6 people. I said, sure, I'll join that. So I've been in that group now for 4 years with that little mini mastermind. And as it turns out, Alex has sent probably about 8 to 10 people to my wisdom councils from his community. And these are people that are heavily into education, social movement impact stuff. And I'm like, coming out of Accenture, I had no access to people that did that kind of work. And I was like, wow. And so now these are really high impact social impact people. And I'm like, this is great. So I'm learning a lot about, what makes those people tick. People those work in policy making in Washington, D.C. now. It's like, what? I had no idea that was going on. So these are really cool people. These are connecting into a world that I had no access to. So take a minute and write down what areas do you need connection into? And would there be people that you would have that you could connect into that? So let me give you an example. Amber, you're doing a revolution of wellness. Did I get that right? At Purdue here, right across the street, actually across the street, we have a center of wellness that's run by a tenured faculty member. And so do you have access to people who actually write and study and research wellness from an academic perspective? That could be a connection point that you go like, ooh,
Yeah.
I could really use like data and research on wellness as a part of your revolution. Similarly,
Very.
revolution of meaning.
Mhm.
So is there, access to philosophy, access to, maybe it is Brendan's world that you give people access, the unique connection to. Nate, thinking about yours with young men and and young adults, there are people in the world in our wisdom council that have a very similar mission. He's like, I just want to work with young men because we don't have good what do we call them? Transition points, rites of passage. That's it. We don't have rites of passage like we used to. And so he's going to go out and build that. Okay, that sounds similar, right? So where are those connecting points that you can open up a whole world? Okay, so those are connection points.